All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And usually I give a little spiel right here for about 2 minutes. I'm skipping that. I'm just going to do one thing. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're not watching the video, you're listening to the podcast. And if you would like to see the video, then look below what appears to be a video and you'll see the word more. Click on the word more and another box opens and there is a link to the blog, which has the video with the images that move and the articles in full. Everything, in my opinion, the best place to go is the blog. But that's me. I know some people are on the treadmill while they're listening to me. Some people are at work, so all you can do is listen. Cool. Thank you. And I have new subscribers. Welcome, new subscribers. All right. So, it is Sunday. It's 9:30, so some of you won't even hear this till tomorrow, which I apologize because I'm pretty sure I'm going to do another post tomorrow. Okay. So, very busy weekend. I almost said, let's dive in. I've been watching this guy on YouTube, and that's what he says. So I have to be sure not to take his phrase. All right. So Sunday, June 9th, and it is early enough. This should post for Sunday. Okay. Reconstructing Iraq, the role of banks in financing the future. So this is a little tiny article. See, well, there's been smaller. 4 paragraphs. Which one paragraph, this is one sentence. Anyway, small article. But I believe there's a bigger story behind this because if you watched Frank 26, I don't know if it's the last video that he did, but I know one of the videos he did over the weekend had information from Eddie, the guy who is actually in Iraq, and he said there was speeches and Al-Alaq came out, and Sudani came out, and some other stuff, none of which I can find articles about, but that's okay. I'm not saying it didn't happen. Usually when they have information or they do things like that are like really for the citizens, somehow, some way they keep it off the internet. I don't know how they do that. But anyway, so, and interesting enough, some of their sites were down. Their Telegram was down yesterday for a while. So I'm wondering, did that have something to do with it? Were they blacking out so we couldn't see that part? Now, why am I saying this? So if you watch Frank's video in Eddie's communication to him, twice he says something about the financial future or the future of their finance. So, with this little article, I do believe, plus there's other stuff I'm going to tell you. So look at everything they go through. They talk about years of wars and conflicts. Banks play a crucial role in financing, reconstruction, everything, right? Everything. They talk about the Iraqi Deposit Insurance Company, which the citizens still aren't going to have trust in. And they even talk about Germany in World War II. But that doesn't surprise me because they just did that mishmash whatever with Germany, right? But there is an article out where it specifically says their banks are going to work together. Iraqi banks and Germany banks are going to work together. So I'm guessing there's going to be some German banks in Iraq and there'll be Iraqi banks in Germany, right? All right, so that's that. Okay. Commenting on the Sudani's position, Washington expresses its concern about targeting. Oh, if you hear some talking, I'm watching the news, Iraq's news, trying to see if they recap their very busy weekend. And sometimes the volume goes up and down. So I apologize. Just focus on me. Listen to my voice. Block out everything else. I'm just kidding. But as best you can, just listen to me. Okay. All right. So, here's this. I never heard of this chili house, but I like it. I like that and whatever that is. So remember I was saying they're attacking our American-backed companies. Um, Oops, I put the wrong article here. Okay, well, anyway, so remember that. Keep that on the left side of your brain. Here's another. This is the second article about armed faction does not rule out resuming operations against American forces if Baghdad fails to remove them. So I don't know if in the last blog, but one of them gave them 40 days. Not this one. This is a second um brigade of whatever, an Iraqi armed faction. So I guess this is a militia. I don't know. Um, but the first one that came out said, "I'm giving you 40 days, Sadani. I'm not gonna have any more." The title has base attacks in it. So yeah. So they gave him 40 days. That was like 3 days ago. And so now here's another group coming out saying we want them gone. Let's see. Oh, okay. This here they say we are still waiting for what the government will announce during the next stage. So, but they do want them to formulate a specific and clear timetable that determines the duration of the presence of international coalition advisors in Iraq. Ah, here's the one. See, a political source revealed a 40-day deadline granted by other factions. So that's just pressure, right? Pressure. I mean, oh, because they will keep their word, right? We can go back and look. They said they were going to do this and they did it, right? So they will keep their word and wait to see how we respond, right? So, and these articles are from Saturday, later in the day, Saturday. Okay, the local government in Mosul calls for allowing exchange companies in Nineveh to enter the dollar selling window. So their business is back up and running. Mosul's coming alive again. They need money, dollars, currency, whatever word you want to put there to function. So they're like, hey, we want some of our banks, our exchangers, to be able to get dollars. I'm not sure what they'll be told, but so clearly they're not believing, right? It's, well, I shouldn't say they're not believing. It's, can you imagine having to operate? Well, maybe this week they'll change the rate and we'll get new money, but until then, we still have to use dollars, right? So just confusing, I guess, but whatever. That's the life over there. Will the governments recalculate their calculations in the upcoming budgets? Yeah, if they're given, if the schedules are approved and put into, hmm, not action, but hmm, I don't know the right word, made effective and become alive. So, but that would take more than that. Well, we think, right? We think, because I love how everyone says they can't do this on a program rate. They can't do that on a program rate. And then, oh, yes, they did. Okay, so that's why I speak the way that I speak because nothing is for sure. And it could change in an instant. Some articles could come out in 2 hours from now that'll be totally different, right? So understand that even I don't fully believe these articles. This is what they put out. This is the story for their citizens. They want their citizens to believe this. Plus they have world stuff, right? World news and um whatever. All right. So the okay, and maybe right here is a good time to talk about the budget schedules. So it doesn't say there's a challenge, but they said they took votes on okay, here. Earlier, members confirmed that the committee voted on the federal budget schedules without making changes to them. What? What? Indicating the allocation of 2 trillion dinars for transfer between the exchange doors. I don't know why this picture's here. This picture is supposed to be up at the beginning. of the article, but somehow it got here. So, let's see. Where's the one? It's Basra and another Dequar, if that's how they say that. So some of the governances are upset because they had their numbers changed, right? But these aren't the people who challenged the um, schedules. Okay, so what's going on? And I think I touched on this. It seems there's a challenge, formal challenge, um, Iraq, the Communist Party of Iraq, and a Maliki. Someone sent me something that it may not be Nouri al-Maliki. It may be the other Maliki that is a parliament member that's probably related to the Maliki. Um, and then there was an article on a guru site. Someone sent, well, excuse me, a posting, because it's not the article. It's a posting of a guy who follows news. He does the news articles. Dave, I think his name's Dave. Jeff. His name's Jeff. Um, he's put that he saw where there is a court date, but it didn't put the date, and it's going to be this week. So I'll be looking. I believe that's my phone, not yours. I believe if there's a court date, it has to be on the court schedule, which may be on their website, which I'm not exactly sure what the court's website is because I never go there. But I'm going to try to look that up. I'm hoping, Iraq, if you're listening, I would like to know if there is a court case and what the date is. All right, but I'll be looking too. So there's that hanging in the balance. Clearly, I guess I should have started this off with no update to the Gazette this weekend. So there is a delay for some reason, and I'm kind of thinking it's this court case. It's this challenge. But we'll see. All right. Parliament services. Yeah, they continue to talk about services and projects, but why is this here? Oh, here. I do like this. They closed this little tiny article with the current budget is large and specializes in the service aspect. But apparently, we still don't know the exact value of the budget, right? I thought this was interesting. This was in Iraq's news. I know it was in our news and everywhere else too, but how nice of Iraq to put this in their news, right? 4 hostages were found. So the reason I think that's good is that's good for that whole, being that it's for geopolitical reasons that I'm pushing September, or not pushing, I'm thinking September. Possibly with this good news, maybe they'll have a breakthrough. I don't know, but they're still, oh my gosh, watching their TV, the images they show, it's just horrific. But anyway, okay, so let's see. Okay, now remember when I said hold something on the left side of your brain? The attacks on the American or Western based businesses, right? Here's their answer. A source reveals the reason for the intense security deployment in Baghdad. So remember I was saying there were images of them? They're fully helmeted. What is all of this, right? What is all this stuff? They got scissors. What can you do with, well, you can stab someone with scissors, right? But all this other equipment here, it doesn't look like let's hurt the citizens type of stuff. And then they have their shields here. So maybe these are their riot police. This looks like a first aid bag, doesn't it? Right here. I don't know. So they're out there. This is one. So these are the unarmed ones, right? There's other ones out with arms, long arms. Okay. And unfortunately, I don't have pictures of them there, but you can see where they are here. In these 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas specifically. All right. There's still, I just have these articles here. I'm not going to go over them, but you can see they announced a Kurdish delegation would arrive in Baghdad, and then they announced that they did arrive. But, yeah, you know, whatever. Okay, so here, Kurdistan Finance announces sending the 4th list of names to the KRG employee list of names of the KRG employees to the Trade Bank of Iraq. So this is that system that's for the Kurds. If they want to register to get their money, their incomes, they have to register through this system. Get their eye scan, give their thumbprints, who knows what else, and then they get their debit card, and that's how they can do that. So they're on their 4th batch of names, and I think they added another bank also. So this right here, this Hasabi project, and it's like 400 people. Oops, it's like 1,000 people. See that? Yeah, they've been added into the system. And here's my one commercial. If you were self-employed in 2020 or 2021 and you filed a Schedule C and CE, you should go to my blog and click on this and see if you qualify for a refund. All right, so these articles are from today. And here again, I don't know why they have to keep bringing this information out. Iraq bids farewell to the list of high-risk countries. We know that. How many times do they have to tell us that? So I'm not sure if this is another list. I don't think it is. It's just repeating something that we already know they did. But maybe they're trying to convince the citizens. I don't know, but that's there. And it was pretty big news. It was like on a lot of the websites. They really wanted people to see that. Here, the Prime Minister sponsors an international agreement to finance the private sector. There they are. I think, is that Syria? Oh, well, you know what? No, that's Germany, right? This flag here is Germany. Yeah, there they are with Germany again. So yeah, you can read that if you'd like. That's a pretty long article. But also, here it talks about the director of the Arab World Institute of Paris was there. So there was a lot of people there this weekend that either they're normally not there or they're normally there, but they just don't talk about them being there. And this weekend there was talk of them there. Okay. Oh, so here, why is this important? Masumi, Nabil Masumi, he said some stuff, and they put it on social media. So see these 3 bullet points, 4 bullet points, and a statement from Economist. So maybe this was his Facebook. I don't know. But so then I did find the actual article. Oh, look at that. Why is all that space there? Anyway, I'll go back and fix that. Okay, so, but what he said was, what I like that he said, he expects the flow of money into the governance will begin and the completion of investment projects will begin, provided that the insurance amounts are released. And what did I just show you? They were talking about the federal insurance company, right? Because the financial allocations to the governance are insufficient and not commensurate with the needs of the governance. So isn't that interesting? He's saying, we're looking at these budget schedules because there's 3 paragraphs above this. Matter of fact, what's the title of this? Oh, shoot. I don't have the title. I don't know. Something weird happened. See all this space right here? The title of the article should be right here. So, me and my wonderful technology skills. But anyway, so yeah. But so he's basically saying, we looked at these tables and the things you're telling us they're going to do and they don't match. But we know why they don't match, right? I've explained this. Maybe not today to you guys. But they can't, it's my belief, they can't put out the right numbers because some people are really smart and they'll work backwards and figure out the rate, right? And then because the schedules are a legal document, I don't think they can put fake numbers on a legal document, right? So how are they going to get around that? I don't know. But I think his statement right here, and if you read the three above it, oh, we're at 20 minutes. You'll see he's saying something's not right. And despite this not being right, I think they're going to let the money flow anyway, right? And although he's not the CBI, he's not even in government, he's just a, uh, I almost said analyst. He's just an economist. They respect him. He's interviewed a lot on TV. They let him, they put his stuff in the news. So I think that's positive that he said that. All right. Oh, here's another article. What's this? Oh, no. Same. Just here's part of the article. Okay. This is 6 controversial laws await the House of Representatives in its new legislative term. It's not anything we care about, but just letting you know they already know what they're going to talk about in their next session. That's interesting. Okay, this I find really interesting. Will Iraq's Prime Minister Sadani visit China? I think he's already been there, but they just haven't told us. But you know me. I don't trust nothing. Look, I don't trust what they do say, and then I think of my own things. Anyway, so this is a really long. Mm, this is an article that was in a publication. D. It starts with a D. The Dependent? I don't know, but it's not an American. Well, maybe it is. Let's see. It's some reporter, some report place. But I saw this in Iraq's news. So they ran this in their news. Here's the rest of the title. The Iraqi Prime Minister, blah blah Sadani, has been invited to Beijing, but it appears that the Iraq side is reluctant. Why? Because we're his ball and chain. And if he goes, we have to go with him. Okay, just my thoughts. But if you have the time and if you're interested, there's a lot. China wants in, right? China wants in a big, big way. Remember the last licensing round? They got uh, most of the things that were offered, the projects that were offered, they got most of them. So, okay, so you read that. That's just an article, right? Now check this out. One of the many speeches Sadani gave over the weekend, Sadani announces an increase in gas production to the level of blah, blah, blah per day, right? Okay. Look at all this Chinese writing. Look, they even have Sadani's on the big screen with Chinese writing behind him. Over here is some red something. Here's a banner that's red with the golden writing. Like, if you ever looked at anything in China, they have a lot of red, because they're communist. And the writing is in gold. And look at these people here in the audience. They look to be Asian, right? So, I thought that was very interesting. And no one's really talking about it. It's not on their news. It wasn't on their news. So, yeah, if you want to read that, this is not as long as that article that I just described right before this. But yeah, so China's trying to kick in their way big time. All right, let's see. We can skip that. This is more of why our troops are still there and they're not leaving. Baghdad and Erbil are reaching the final stages of resolving the issue of salaries and budget. Yeah, They just seem to always have to post something about them. Nothing about the oil and gas law this weekend, though. Okay, this was pretty major. Association of Private Banks. Iraq witnessed a major revolution and widespread change in electronic payment tools. So here they're bragging about what they've done. They're fully prepared to cooperate And this is the reason why I said this is pretty major because remember, the private banks were the last to get on the program of going through the Federal Reserve and the Treasury for their dollars. And look how quickly, not only are they up and running with the new system, they're on the point of sale machine systems. Now they're saying, hey, we are fully prepared to cooperate with directions of the Central Bank of Iraq, which are greatly supported by government directions, especially after the recent visit to the U.S. So they're like, hey, Sadani, yeah, we're with you. So I think that's good. It just seems like they were a holdup, right? We know they were because they were, what's that word, procrastinating to get with the program. Now, not only are they with the program, but they're openly saying, yes, we're on board and we're ready to go to the next stage. And whoever they were talking to listened to what he said. He stressed that the current year, the current year will witness significant and tangible change by the citizen. I almost made this the title of the blog. I was like, tangible, yes, I like that. But, I don't want to get my hopes up. They've broken my heart too many times. But I did like that. And if you want to, that's a pretty good article to read if you need some cheering up. Okay, here, an American warning against stealing Iraqi data. But, yeah, right. We can't even keep our data safe, okay? They got bank breaches and everything else. But anyway, at least they're doing the right thing by saying it. If you want to read that, they do talk about the Iraq was at the Global Private Sector Summit. I think that was like a couple of months ago, right? But so at least they're saying everything they're supposed to say. The government has provided. Okay, Sadani spoke with, I don't know who this is, probably the European people. But whoever, I just wanted you to hear this part, those of you who are not going to go to the blog. Oh, I guess I should say the blog is myfxbuddies.blogspot.com or myfxbuddies.blogspot. Nope, myfxbuddies. Jeez Louise. myfxbuddies.com, but you have to use HTTPS. So Sadani says to whoever he's talking to here, the government has provided a safe investment environment. I don't know, you got soldiers in the streets. But anyway, and financial and banking facilities that are attractive to experienced companies. I like that. So let's see, who is he talking to? Oh, there's that thing. Ignore that noise, okay? Al-Halal companies. Oh, Jafar. I love that name. Let's see. Hamid, Hamid, however you're supposed to say that. Jafar is with Al-Halal companies. So that's who he's talking to here. All right. And I just happened to put this article here, right? After the restaurant raids, a warning about the deterioration of investments in Iraq. So and I just said that while he's in there talking to these people at night, not the freaks come out, but at night, the security people come out. Yep. I just went back to what, 1980 something? The freaks come out. Some of y'all know about that song. All right. Anyway, yeah. So this is pretty major, but no one wants to talk about it because, we don't like Russia. But Iraq participates in the 27th St. Petersburg's International Economic Forum. And none of these people right here look familiar to me. It says the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but it's not the Foreign Affairs Minister. So where is he that he sent these young guys in his position? But whatever. So you could read that. I don't think they spoke, but they were invited and they went. Oh, for those of you who don't know, St. Petersburg is in Russia. And I mean, I wouldn't know that. If I wasn't reading all this stuff about Iraq and all the other stuff, I wouldn't know that. So I'm not trying to make fun of anyone. That's why I wanted to point that out. All right, here's more about Kurdistan and Baghdad having their meeting. And they say there's details, but I didn't even bother to read it because it's probably not true. Or it could change in an instant, right? An expert analyzes the current gap in the dollar exchange rate. I think I'm going to use this as the picture. So here's my friend Nabil Marsumi speaking again. And you know what? Well, no, I think this is different. I think this is different than the other. Remember, he's the one that says he expects the money to flow despite what's going on with the budget schedules. Here he says, regarding the dollar exchange rates, with the release of budget funds and the increase in consumer and investment spending, the monetary supply at home increases, which is reflected in the increase in demand for imports. The dollar is under pressure, which leads to a widening of the gap between the official and parallel exchange rates. So see, that's why it actually would be ideal for them to put more dollars in their economy to keep that spread low. Over the weekend, the prices of the dinar to the dollar rates, they were around 16.50. Sorry, that's way off. Way off. 14.60. Ooh. All right. Which they had gotten down to, and it says right here, 14.60 and 14.80. But remember, it was getting down to 37, I think was the lowest, 37.5. So, yeah, we're not seeing that. And then they're a little worried because this week it goes into the Eid holiday. And Wednesday, some of the governments are actually going to be closed on Wednesday for some other holiday. So I imagine as time goes on this week, more governments will announce they're closing on Wednesday too for whatever. But usually when there's a holiday, people want dollars and the dollar rate goes up again. But we'll see. All right. Here, this is good. An International Monetary Fund. We expect growth in the Iraqi economy, but don't get too excited because tomorrow the IMF could come out and say, oh no, actually, it's not going to grow, or it's not going to grow as much as we thought. Oh, but you know what? So this is an interview of this guy. And then remember, Frank 26 said that Eddie said that there was people there from the IMF. And here they are. Here this guy is. Yeah, you say that name, okay? He's being interviewed. And he just says, and I tried to make the this one here. I like this one. In your opinion, where are the strengths in the economy? And he says private sector. I tried to make that blue, but it wouldn't stick. And this one here, what do you advise regarding reducing unemployment rates? I like that also. But it's a short article. It's good. And also, in other news, check out what the IMF told Washington over the weekend. Lots of news came out over the weekend about global stuff. Anyway, all right. So, almost as if Jamal Cougar read this guy's interview, he put out an article saying supporting the private sector as a gateway to providing job opportunities. So he's like, yeah, IMF, I hear you. I hear you. And we are trying to put some people to work. Work, work, work. But, you know the deal. We need to change our rate. We need to put the labor laws and investment laws into effect. Okay, let's see. There is a title right here. You just can't see it because the writing is white. Even though I tried to make it blue, I tried to make it black, it would not change. So it says the European Union mission expresses its readiness to cooperate with the Iraqi banking sector. So, interestingly enough, unless I'm missing this, I don't think I am, it does not say when this meeting took place. Normally, it would say, His Excellency, the Governor of the Central Bank of Iraq, Mr. Blah, 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 Alaq, received on Sunday a delegation. But no, it does not say that. It just says Al-Alaq received a delegation from the European Union mission headed by that guy, right? So, there's nothing really news breaking here. They want to work with international organizations. This other guy, which I guess he's not in the picture, Mr. Seiler, praised the role of the Central Bank of Iraq and the steps that it took to develop the banking sector, economic stability, and confront difficulties and challenges. So they put this out today. That's on the CBI. You could go. Well, you might be able to go. They move stuff really quick off the CBI, but it is dated June 9th. All right, we're done. There's 2 more articles here. You could go read if you'd like. Just complaining. They're still complaining. America is tampering with the Iraqi economy for the benefit of Jordan. And then there's an article saying we gave Jordan an oil field. So, I don't know how we could do that. Actually, I do know how we could do that, but can't get into it on here. And yeah, so thank you. It's 36 minutes. I apologize. I had no idea they were going to put so much news out. So yeah, thank you for listening. And so I'm looking for, I already told you what I'm going to look for this week. And if any of that happens, I don't anticipate recording on Monday. So possibly Tuesday, but who knows? You never know with them, right? So thank you for listening. Anticipate, nope. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals. Pay all your bills. Pray. Pray for our country. Wow. All right, and enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you're enjoying this content. Oh, and if there's a follow, not like, what's the other one? Join, follow, whatever. Tap that, swipe that, click on it, whatever. And if all things work correctly, when I update, you'll be notified. All right. I hope you have a good week. I look forward to having a good week. Thanks. Until next time.